Hi, it's Michelle again, and I'm bringing you a morning routine that I have started because I'm reading the Saint Germain discourses, and it said, if indeed you put the power of the Lord, or I am consciousness, to the forefront every day, your life will transform in 6 weeks. So here is what I've done and created for my morning routine, and I'm going to tell you it's working. So here we go. One thing I want you to do is I want you to stop watching the news. Just stop it. It's so negative. Can you have a positive attitude when you're watching about murders and knifings and horrible things? You cannot. Now, this I learned from Darren Hardy. He wrote the book, The Compound Effect, and he is an entrepreneur that's become very successful. He doesn't even use his phone. He recommends that you simply stop using it. So if you're standing in line at the bank and other people have their phone to scroll, you don't do it. What does this do? It allows your brain to get a little bored. And when that happens, you have new ideas come into your head. So if you A, don't put in negative things by watching the news, and then B, don't get all hypnotized by what's on your phone, you're going to open your mind and your soul to new ideas that are trying to come in from the universe. This is pretty simple, but it's very effective and very powerful. The other thing I want you to do is get up an hour earlier. You need to have time for yourself. And what I do is I get up, and the first thing I do is I read something inspirational. I've been reading from the Neville Goddard series books, and I've also been reading from the Saint Germain discourses. And those are very powerful because it puts me in the place where I'm putting the universal I am, which is the universal consciousness, first in my life. And so A, I'm not getting up and watching the news. B, I'm getting up and putting positive things into my brain. And I read for about 20 minutes. Then I want you to do a meditation. And I recommend that you have a place that you meditate in every day that's the same. Make it a sacred place. Put in a crystal. Put in something that's meaningful to you. If it works for you, get out a candle and light it and look at the candle flame. That bugs me because I have contacts. I close my eyes. Now what you should do is you're going to start breathing in and then out. And as you breathe in, you're going to breathe in I. You're going to say I am. Do this for at least 100 times, focusing on the I am. And you'll find as you get closer to 100 that you're disengaging from the outside world. You're going to be starting to observe your thoughts. You're going to see that you are different than the thoughts that are running through your brain. It's taken me a long time to get to a place where I can disengage from all the thoughts, and I can see them and watch them and notice, oh, hey, that's a thought. Oh, hey, that's a thought. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. It's very, very important to realize this, that you are the observer of your thoughts, because you are bigger and more powerful than your thoughts. Your thoughts are just things, and things can be changed. Next, I want you to start repeating a mantra all day in your head. I am using the mantra I am, which is another name for God. Be still and know that I am God, because there is only one consciousness in the universe, and we are all part of God. I use the I am over and over, and you just simply repeat it. Now, why do I suggest doing this? I learned this from Michael Singer. He wrote The Untethered Soul, and he said we have habitual thoughts in our head. I have habitual thoughts, or have had, of I'm not good enough, or it's scary, or I'm depressed. And what you do is you simply change the focus of your consciousness from those habitual thoughts to the other thoughts. My thoughts are of I am, which is the God presence inside me. You could say something else like, I can handle this. Or maybe you want to just simply say God over and over and over. What you are doing is creating a new positive habit, and that you'll find over time that you more naturally come back to this consciousness, and it allows you to get out of the way and allow the God presence to work through you, and it helps relax you. It's very important to try to do this. Now, interestingly, Wayne Dyer talked about a story of Tina Turner. Remember Ike and Tina Turner? Well, at one point, Tina Turner was very damaged and she was very ill. She was a Buddhist, and she began saying their mantra, which is actually Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I know this because my sister is a Buddhist. She kept repeating that over and over and over and over, and she healed. Why did she heal? Because she had her mind on a positive thought. She did not allow it to go into anything else. And it allowed her to relax. Because the more you relax, the more you receive. You stop resisting, and you'll allow more of the good to come into your life. You see, we live in a quantum universe. This is a holographic universe. It is simply not real. The only thing that is real is what's inside your brain. What you experience on the outside is what you have on the inside, simply pushed out. And when you try to resist things going on, you actually make them persist. So what you want to do is simply relax, focus on the I am presence, and know that is the most powerful presence in the universe. And once you activate this and remind yourself of it all day long, you're going to find your experience shifting. I have. It's been incredibly powerful. If you don't believe me that the world is a hologram, just Google quantum physics and you will see that indeed scientists are proving over and over these days that what we see isn't real. It looks real, it feels real, but it's not real. You know that electrons, when you don't observe them, are in a wave pattern, but when they're observed, they become solid. I mean, it's a very difficult subject to grasp, although movies are starting to bring the metaverse into their themes, like every single one of the superhero movies right now, or the movie Everything Happening All at Once, which was an amazing movie. So people are starting to get it in the regular consciousness. This is a universe where there are all the different versions of yourself existing at the same time. So when you relax, you allow a different version of yourself to come in and manifest. And as you change on the inside, your outside world does change. I know this because it's happening for me. Now, another thing you can do, which has been very helpful for me, is put affirmations and reminders in your calendar and have them come up. And read your affirmations throughout the day. Here is my affirmation. This is one of about 15 I have in my phone because I'm one that needs to be reminded a lot in order to change my existence. I am, meaning God, the governing love, wisdom, and power with its attendant intelligent activity, which is acting today in every single thing that I think or do. I command this infinite activity to take place every moment and be the sustaining guard about me, that I move, speak, and act only in divine order. Now this helps me in particular at work, because at work I've been experiencing a boss who is relatively cranky, and I had a lot of insecurity. However, as I continue making affirmations like this one, my experience with my boss is changing for the positive every single day. And remember that everything is always happening for your benefit. Tony Robbins says this all the time. Everything is happening for you, not to you. That puts you, when you say to, it puts you in a victim mode. You are not the victim. You are the creator in your life. And as you relax and remember that you've put the I am presence first and expand your consciousness, your outside world has to change. So the other thing I'm going to tell you to do is get a book of a spiritual teacher that resonates with you. This guy in the middle is Neville Goddard. I really, really like his books. Dr. Wayne Dyer loved the Neville Goddard books so much that he wrote his own book called Wishes Fulfilled, and that's where he talks about how Neville Goddard helped him. In fact, he credits the teachings of Neville Goddard with his ability to heal from the cancer that he had. He knew that the outside world was simply a projection of who he was on the inside, so he kept affirming and visualizing and relaxing into the reality that he was healed. And indeed, he did heal from the cancer. And as I've said before, he died of a heart attack. He did not die of cancer. Another man who has become a multimillionaire, and he's a big guru to a lot of CEOs, continually reads the Norman Vincent Peale books because that is what speaks to him. That is what puts him in the plane of understanding and positive abilities. And he went from being in prison for a couple of years, being homeless for a couple of years, to today living a life that he'd always dreamed of, even to having the love of his life. And he said that he originally created a list, and I think he said there were 9 items on the list that he had to have in his ideal partner. And then he worked to make sure that he created all of those aspects inside himself first. So he became his own ideal lover, and sure enough, she appeared on the outside. See, this is all an inside job that we're doing, and you have to commit and be consistent in order to make a change. So try this for 6 weeks. In the morning, get up. If you have trouble getting up in the morning, find a different time that works for you. I have also found, and I liked Wayne Dyer's suggestion, if you want to start exercising or eating right, start thinking about how much you enjoy exercising and eating right. He talked about he used to drink 4 beers a day, every single day, but then he started that he didn't want to drink 4 beers anymore. But in order to do it effortlessly, he started talking about and thinking about how much he enjoyed not drinking the beers. He still continued to drink the beers, but over time, all of a sudden one day he said, you know what? I don't want to drink the beers today. And from that day forward, he never had another beer. So if you want to make a change, like if you want to start exercising or getting up an hour earlier, start thinking how much you enjoy getting up an hour earlier or exercising, and sure enough, it will happen in your life. Remember, you have to have the courage to make the commitment to change, but then you must be consistent if you want to see the positive results. So I want to thank you for joining me today and hearing about the morning routine that I've instituted and have been doing since June 8th, and my life has significantly improved. No more do I wake up depressed in the morning. No more do I have intense worry. It does sneak up on me from time to time, and when it does, I can go ahead and sit in the feeling and know that it's okay because it will pass. And I know that the I am presence inside me will transmute it into a feeling of peace. So when I stop resisting it, it just lets go. So thank you. Join me again for our next video as we talk about different meditation techniques. Subscribe and like, And I love you very much, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you.